Who else ready to crash out? Who else is ready to crash the out? I need to know. All right, y'all. I'm telling you, listen. I don't know. I think it was 2 days ago. I did not sleep. 2 days ago, I did not sleep. There was no real reason. I think I just stayed up too late and then I just couldn't go back to sleep type ish. Like I was laying there, but I wasn't in no deep sleep. So then the other night, I got good quality of sleep. But then last night, my cat woke me up. And I could have, the other night, he woke me up too, but I went right back to sleep. But today, my cat woke me up at 4 in the morning. It was like, okay, this what happened. So my phone went off for some odd, crazy reason when usually my phone is in sleep mode. I heard my phone like go off at like a little prior to 4 in the morning. Then here come my cat, licking tail. I can't stand it. Like, listen, I be in some deep sleep, but it's almost like I'm a light sleeper as well. It's weird. It's like hard to describe. It's like I can be in some deep sleep, but still, like if I hear something, like I be up. You know what I'm saying? If I hear anything, I be up. Right? Okay, so boom. And then also I had to use the potty. That got me feeling like I would crash out. So then I woke up today. Apparently it was 77 degrees in my car. And today, I'm gonna get into it, but let me tell you why I feel like a crash out there. My laptop charger just suddenly wanted to stop working today. Why? I need a whole new computer because my computer is messed up. I tried to go get it fixed, and the man was talking like, oh, he got to pull it apart in order to fix it. It's missing a screw. Like, it's just missing the hinge off of the laptop. Like, nothing's wrong with the laptop. It's just that the hinge is missing. Okay? So that got me feeling like a damn crash out today. Okay? All right. So let's get into it today, y'all. Today we're gonna talk about why everybody feel like a crash out. Okay. Now this is a good topic. All right. So I got 3 different points to hit on. So let's get into it. All right. I got a little bit of help from ChatGPT. Okay. So let's be honest. Lately we've been seeing everybody crash out, from celebrities to people who think they a celebrity to YouTubers and the third. Okay. But look, I ain't gonna judge because today I felt like a total crash out. I felt like a total crash out. I had a slight crash out moment with a Walmart employee. It was a slight crash out. It wasn't too intense. But I'm gonna share it. I'm still gonna share it though. Okay. So I'm not judging because whether it can be work online or at a simple grocery store outing, okay, people are tapped out, fed up, and just straight up through and don't want to hear nobody else talking. Okay? Sometimes you just have those days where you just don't want to hear nobody talking. Like, shut up. Like, if somebody say one more word to me, like that today. Like, somebody say one more word. I swear to God. Okay. All right. So now earlier I had went to the grocery store, right? Okay. So look, you know they got that hot bar area, right? And so when you go to the grocery store, they got like the like I said, the hot bar, the hot food. It might be chicken, it might be potato wedges. I don't know, whatever y'all be having, mashed potatoes. Right, okay. So I'm going to the hot area food. So I heard this man over talking with this lady at the hot food bar, in the grocery store. So he says to the lady, He says, people now these days are picky. You know what I noticed about this error, this crash out error, is everybody keeps saying these days or back in my day, these days, these children. And I even say that sometimes. I'm like, this generation, or I'd be like Gen Z, because technically people like to say I'm a zillennial, but I call myself a millennial. Okay, I'm 30. So y'all can classify that however y'all want. But to me, I'm a millennial. Okay. So the man was like, people are picky these days. And I went in the car and I thought about it. And I'm like, people are not picky these days, actually. I was like, you know what? I think it's because people have standards and boundaries and they just don't want to put up with ish that they used to put up with back in the days, back in their old days. And that's the other thing. Our generations are getting older. Like when it was my 29th birthday, I was like, I'm about to be 30. I'm about 30. You know how that lady, you got 30 minutes? I literally had 30 minutes to turn 30. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm about to be 30. I literally think, so I had a moment, right? Okay, I'm going to get to that Walmart crash out in a minute. Because I sat in the car and I was like, either my patience is running thin or I'm just getting older. Like, what is it? So I'm going to tell y'all the interaction, okay? So anyway, the thing is, so when the man at the hot bar was like, people getting picky, because I think it was like, you know how you get to the hot bar and the folks like, I only want flats or I only want drums, or however when you go to that hot chicken and folks like, I don't want no chicken legs, I want this, I want 2 thighs and 2 drums or whatever, right? So the man was like, people just getting picky these days. And I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think people are getting picky these days. I just think that people are learning how to be selective, right? So think about it. Like when we are doing streaming services or when we're, on YouTube, we get to pick whatever the heck we want to watch. You know what I'm saying? If we don't want to watch certain people, then we scroll on to the next video. We don't want to hear what they saying in that video, then we scroll on to the next video. I don't think it's necessarily being picky. I think it's like being selective, knowing what you like, and sticking around for the quality that you deem as valuable. I don't think that's being picky. And this is the other thing too. I've noticed there's a generation difference between I would say millennials, Gen Z, and then also I would say the baby boomers. Because it's almost like the baby boomers have been programmed to like take whatever you can get. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they were programmed that way. Because, like, even, with one of my family members, they always tried to teach me, like, oh, just accept whatever people give you, or just take whatever's there, or if there's a job around, just take that job, and then at least you'll get some money from it. Like, no, you have to stop taking things that you can just get and start being selective. You know what I'm saying? Start being selective. All right? Listen, because we don't got the patience no more. Like, think about it. If we're all DoorDashing, Instacarting, fast fooding, okay? And it's almost like people, like literally people have lost their patience. Literally. Like, that's why people crashing out. Is because people literally have no patience. I'm trying to tell you. They literally have no patience. So, like, the other day, so this bank that I go to, right? Hey, welcome in. So this bank that I go to. They had got rid of the drive-through. I don't know why they got rid of. I think it's only because they got 2 workers. That's the other thing. They had got rid of the drive-through. So you know how you can go to the bank and then you can pull up to the little teller, had a little swoop, go down that little vacuum thing. Okay, they done closed that out. So now everybody who gotta go into the bank, you gotta go into the bank. You gotta get your ass up out that car, wait in line for them folks to do your little dealings at the bank. So it was this one dude. He came behind me. I was already waiting a good 7 minutes in that line. This dude, I'm like, sir, in this line, and you already, yeah, he was ready to crash out. They be look. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all really notice, society is setting up for us all to crash out. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. Society right now is programming all of us to crash out. Okay? Thank you, sir. You need to stop telling me what to do on my page. Thank you. When I'm passionate, I say things loud. Now, they want us to crash out. Why you think, now this is a good thing. Why you think they said if you homeless, right, they gonna lock you up? Why you think they programming only 2 folk at the cash registers now? Why you think they programming all of these places to have little and far and few employees now? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. They're programming society to be a crash out society. All right, let's keep going. Definitely chat in the go in the chat and tell me what y'all think as we go through this video. All right. So anyway, like I said, my laptop charger decided not to work today. So now that's trash. And then while I went to 2 stores and I went on Amazon trying to see what was the best deal. Why I found a laptop charger for $50+. It's a laptop charger. What the heck? It's a laptop charger, dude. It's a laptop charger. $50? $50+ for a laptop charger. Nothing. Okay? The day, literally, I felt like the day was starting off bad. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so look. So I went to go do this basic errand. Listen. I went to do this basic errand. Okay, look. So the other day, I had went to go get some, what was that? It was like some curling product because I'm getting ready to wash my hair. That's why I'm in these little braids, whatever. Okay, I'm getting ready to wash my hair in the next couple days. Something, I don't know. So I went to go return it because I found a cheaper price of that product, right? Because Walmart was selling it for the high. I thought Walmart had low prices. What's going on? Okay, so that thing was like 11 something cent, right? Okay, so I go to TJ Maxx, you know, the Marshalls, the TJ Maxx. I found that same product for $7.99. I said, let me go to Walmart. Let me go return this. Okay, look, this where I had a slight crash out session with this Walmart employee. A slight one. Woo! Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Okay, look. Okay, so I'm walking in Walmart, right? So I'm like, okay. Because you know, usually you get the customer service section at Walmart and everybody named mama up over there. Do you know it was nobody up over there? So I was going to be the one up there? Okay, boom. So I'm over here. I got my, I have my little fanny pack. Because sometimes I don't do purses. I have my fanny pack. So anyway, I pull out the receipt on my fanny pack, slap it on the counter. And then I take the little hair stuff and then I put the bottle up on the counter. Thanks for your opinion. Don't care. So I put the stuff on the bottle or on the counter. And then, so the lady, she like, oh, you here for a return? I said, yeah, I'm here for a return. So she grabbed my stuff and she get ready to give me the receipt or however for the return. So then I'm like, I'm just kind of standing there waiting to see what she gonna say next. She don't say nothing. So then I was like, so how's the return gonna, I was like, do I need to pull out my card or whatever? And she was like, no, you don't need to pull out your card. See, this the thing. This the other thing. This how folk crash out too. Because I am millennial, if you, listen, you are deemed to crash out if you're a millennial, a Gen X, or a baby boomer. I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how. Because the systems are no longer the same. Back when I was growing up, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, okay, all of our systems were the same. So it's kind of like, you know how everybody say on the internet, oh, the parents told us if we go to college, if we do this, if we do this, if we do that, then all else will work in our favor, right? Okay, yeah, that's how it used to be. Used to. So then when you go to different stores and they got different policies, you'll be feeling like folks trying to play with your head. That's how it participates in the crash out. That's how they be programming folks to participate in the crash out. Okay? That's how they be telling folks to participate in the crash out. By having all these systems. Because I was thinking about something. Like how I think it was like phones or technology or something. So like, you know how, so like, let's say for an example, let's say how you had Time Warner Cable, but then you switched over to AT&T. And even my dad was telling me about this. Okay, let's use a different example. Okay, it's all in the same principle. But anyhow, so my dad was telling me how the house he just got has like ADT, the house security system, right? So he thinking that oh, I can just turn on the ADT and I'm gonna be set and I'm gonna be ready. So he called up ADT and he was like, hey, I just got this house. Can you come and turn the alarm system on, right? And they was like, yeah, no, we can't do that, sir. So my dad like, yeah, why you can't do that? So they tell him, dang, what they said. They said, oh yeah, that's that old ADT. That's that back in the days ADT. We gotta come out and we gotta do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P. Whatever happened to, see, that's the thing. That's why the older generation, we be ready to crash out. Because doing simple tasks was never this hard. You didn't have to use, like, when I would tell my mom that like you have to use username and passwords to apply for jobs, she be looking at me like, what? She be looking like, what? You gotta use a username and password just to apply to a job? I'm like, yes. Well, I'm telling you, these Gen X's, these baby boomers, they're like, no, life was no. They be ready to crash out. Okay? They be ready to crash out on a Gen Z too. Okay? They be ready to crash out on a Gen Z. Somebody is ready to get blocked today. Somebody is ready to get blocked today. Somebody ready to get blocked today. Anyway. So yeah, baby boomers, they be ready to crash out. Shoot, they customer service ain't right, they ready to crash out. You don't talk to them right, they ready to crash out. Okay? That's period. Sir, what's wrong with you, baby? You about to get the fuck about my shit. How you doing? Okay, goodbye. Anyway, so anywho, let me finish the little Walmart situation. So she give me my oh wait. I said, yeah, I'm ready to return. She ring up the return. I said, what card do I need to use? Do I need to pull the card out or do I not need to pull the card out? Because it's different things. However, so then, girl, what the fudge? 24 hours. 24 hours. Okay, sorry, y'all. I had to get the folks up out of there. So anyway, then next thing you know, she finna give me the receipt. The transaction is done. This dude come up out the woodworks, is her employee, and they having a whole full blast ass conversation Not even, oh, the manager said this, or oh, we need you over here. No, it's not one of those. He was sitting up there having a full blast conversation with this girl, talking about what they was gonna do later, or what's set it up for this, or when you working at. I said, excuse me. I said, excuse me. I don't mean to be in y'all conversation, but you done with that? Can I get the receipt? Snatched in and left. I swear to God. All I was waiting for was that girl to give me my receipt. And she sat up there and had a full blast conversation flirting with this dude as he came up to talk. Excuse me. Excuse me. Period. I need, let's say, basic decency is gone. Folks don't know how to talk to people. Folks don't know how to do customer service. Give me the receipt, boo, and I'll be out your hair. Why? I don't want to listen to y'all conversation. God damn it! I got other things I could be doing. Okay. Like I wasn't sitting there waiting for her to give me the damn receipt. Like, girl, I snatched that receipt out her hand and left so quick. Sure did. Now, we done talked about the grocery store. Folks talking about everybody picky nowadays. No, they not. They just got standards. They know how to be selective. Okay? And they not here to hear a whole bunch of this they don't want to hear. If you don't want to hear a whole bunch of this, go and find you some other ish to do. Okay? Go and about your business. Okay, period. And that's just what I believe in. So folk coming up in this live saying ish I don't want to hear, you getting up out. You getting booted. You getting booted. That's that. So that's how I felt about that interaction with the Walmart employees. What I'm standing here for? Give me my receipt so I can go. I don't care about you flirting with this little boy. Okay, next. See, the thing is, this the other thing too. Folks be thinking I'm their age. I'm not your age. Sorry. I'm not your age. Okay? You might think that I'm your age because I still wear this Barbie shirt, but baby, I'm not the age you think I am. All right? Now, lastly, let's talk about why people is just being a crash out these days. The job market. The job market. They've been talking about folks ghosting them. They oh yes, you're a genius of them all. You're the most genius of them all. Okay, the fuck? What you thinking? Absolutely nothing. Anyway, so the job market. People are out here fighting to keep a system that was never meant to be alive. They were never meant to be alive. This system wasn't meant to be alive. Okay? It wasn't. That 9 to 5, that's disintegrating. And I say that in almost, not all my videos, but it is disintegrating. There was a Forbes article saying that the 9 to 5 is going to end. But people just don't want to believe. That's the thing. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why people are crashing out. People are crashing out because they don't want to believe the truth. They don't want to believe the truth. They're just forever in denial. They think denying things or using gaslight or manipulation tactics is going to distract everyone from the truth. It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Sorry. It don't distract people for nothing. You trying to distract yourself because you can't handle the truth. Okay? The 9 to 5s are phasing out. That's why nobody can find a job. And I constantly keep saying this over and over and over. Okay? You have to become 1099. You have to become a freelancer. You have to start following what you were gifted with. Okay? You can no longer just get a job. All right? There's a reason why they're rejecting people. The 9 to 5 is phasing out. We got so many ignorant people in here today. What the fudge? What is going on? So many ignorant people in here today. Girl, so many ignorant people. Anyway, that's the other thing. What? Wait, hold on. It have a what? Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So when people were saying, "Oh, my parents told me to, graduate, get the job, start the family, white picket fence," yeah, that don't. They were saying that don't exist no more. And then you got folks saying, if you don't own anything, you'll be more happy. Who told you that? Oh, who told you that? You better own something in this life. Something. Not nothing. Something. See, that's where y'all falling back at. That's why you're crashing out too. Because you don't own nothing. You ain't stand upon nothing. Okay? You got to stand upon your standards and where you finna go. Where are you going to go in this life? You cannot sit around and wait for other people to validate you. They're not going to do it. That's why you have so many strange people in the chat talking ish all day. You don't look for other people to give you validation. They're not going to give it to you. Why do you think people sit on TikTok and constantly talk about self-love, self-love, self-love? People need to love themselves. People need to love. Folks don't know how to love themselves. You sitting around waiting for your parent to love you or to treat you some type of way. You're going to be sitting there forever. Okay? And you going to turn into the ultimate crash out because you still waiting for your parent to give you validation. Nope. I refuse to constantly still sit there and try to make people validate me. As you see, blah, blah, blah. People will not validate you, period. You said my point. Thank you. Okay? So you don't sit around and you wait for no job to give you approval. You don't do that. You have to give yourself approval in order to move to the right steps in your life, period. That's it. That's all. Okay? So you have to sit down with what you're originally granted with. What are you naturally gifted with? Hello, design. I'm a digital design coach. Okay? I learned web design at 12 years old and I'm still doing it till this day. I teach other people how to start taking themselves serious, validate their mission, and how to put it on e-commerce platforms. Yes, I do. What else did I do? Those coloring pages. This is my coloring book that I published. They come from here. You use your talents that you're naturally gifted with. Whatever you have, whatever you love the most in childhood, I'm telling you, if you go back to that core reason, okay, why you love the things you love in your childhood, it's going to tell you what you can do to move further in your life. Because when I was designing this stuff, I'm like, oh, I just do this for fun. Until I got to a point when I was like 27 years old, I was like, I feel so aimless in life right now. Like I keep leaning on these 9 to 5s and I still don't feel right? Okay, so I had watched this video and I had got a message from the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And Tony Gaskins, he had made a video and he said, you want to create something that you cannot get fired from. You want to create something to where if somebody tries to make you quit, I'm not 27, I'm 30. Exactly. People think that I'm a younger age than what I am. I'm 30. So anyhow, what I was going to say. Yeah, so he said, create something that you cannot get fired from. You always want to think about what your next move can be without a job. Because the job market is disintegrating. Did you go on TikTok and you saw that dude? He did like the ultimate crash out on TikTok. He was like, y'all, it's not funny. It's not funny. But he was like, I applied to like 1,000 jobs and nobody has gotten back to me. But everybody been saying that they're ghost jobs. Right. And that's another thing. Stability is a luxury, but this is the thing too. Cause like my work history, it gives seasonal. I'm like, why is it giving seasonal? Then I thought about it a little bit longer. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I'm supposed to be doing something else. You know? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing purpose-driven stuff. And to some people, they don't know what their purpose is. I didn't know either. I just knew I liked art. I loved art ever since, honestly, I loved art ever since I was 5 years old. And it never left. It never left. But I asked myself, I said, okay, if I want to do something around art, what would it be and how can it be significant to others? Not just art, making stuff look pretty, but how else can it be, valuable to other people? Okay, web design. Okay, I learned web design. I learned magazine design at a camp. It was a digital arts camp when I was like 9 to 16 or 10 to 16. I swear it was 9 though, but 10 to 16. So then when I got to 27 and I made that coloring book, that's when I went back in my brain and was like, how do I make my own coloring book? Because I didn't know. I went back in my brain. I'm like, how do I piece together this coloring book? From that camp, when they taught us magazine design, that's how I put that coloring book together. Literally. And then I made a coloring book, aligned by design, which basically means to go back to your original design that God has created you to become for his will, not yours. Okay? Not based on a 9 to 5, right? So I'm like, is that why life just feel like it's not working? Is that why life feel like it's not working? Because I keep leaning to things that are not of, don't lead to things of this world. I kept leaning on a 9 to 5. That's not where I go. That's not where I fit in. I don't fit in a 9 to 5. I can get a 9 to 5. I can be there for a good amount of time, but it just don't feel right. And I get pushed out, right? Because my energy is different energy than other people's energy. It is what it is. And I'm not saying that to, no. It just is what it is, and I've come to terms with it. And that's the thing. You have to come to terms with your ideas. You have to come to terms with who you are, right? It just is what it is, right? Like some people, I really do believe that I truly believe that there are entrepreneurial spirited people. And when you have a lot of people that's 9 to 5 base, that's because, not saying that 9 to 5 is bad. I believe in leveraging your 9 to 5, right? So it's like moving yourself to the next step. That's what elevation is. It's just learning from one step to get to the other step. That's it, right? So I'm not going to totally downgrade a 9 to 5. I'm just being totally transparent that the 9 to 5 is disintegrating and that it is time to start making your blueprint. With that being said, I'm going to do a closing with this video. So once again, you guys, I am a digital design coach for YouTube and e-commerce. I've been on YouTube ever since 2011. This is my second channel. Okay. I actually started YouTube singing. That's why my name is Sultry. Okay, for the person who came in here talking mess. Okay. So, yes, I started YouTube in 2011. I learned video editing, magazine design, web design. So, and I also built my own website. So I'm sure I can help you guys as a digital design coach. Also, know how to do YouTube intros, and of course I do all my thumbnails. With that being said, in the description box below, you guys, my first tool for you guys to get started so you can find who you need to serve, okay? If you serve people, you will get the reward, right? If you serve God's people, you will get rewarded, all right? So the first tool is the Align to the Signs Audience Solution Template. That is where there's 5 columns of their pain point. Why what do they experience monthly or weekly? How is it affecting them? 3, I'm trying to remember what it is. 3, how is it affecting them? Oh, what are they fit like? Shoot, why am I forgetting my own ish? Why am I forgetting my own ish? I literally said it the other day. Template. I think it was just find a product, a solution, your YouTube channel, and show them through that channel. How are you going to solve that channel? How are you going to solve that problem through those 3 different mediums? And then what is it going to look like for their outcome as the result from their initial pain point to what you want them to feel after, or what they want to feel after they have gotten your product, your service, and watched your YouTube channel, right? And watched your YouTube videos. Because when you are doing videos on YouTube, you want to lead people to somewhere where it's solution oriented. You just don't want to make videos and just constantly be like, oh, like, see, this is the thing that people don't know about YouTube. Okay, so I'm getting off topic, which I already covered this before on my channel. You can already monetize your YouTube channel. You do not have to wait for YouTube to literally monetize you. If you make a product, if you make a service, if you create some merch, you can already monetize. Even with the little people who do watch, people think that you need thousands upon thousands. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you touch 5 souls, them 5 souls will tell another 5 souls. You touch them 5 souls, them 10 souls, they gonna tell another 5 souls. You feel what I'm saying? That's how it slow growth over time. So imagine getting sales just like that, because you already set up products. Okay? So I don't just make coloring pages. I also make digital wallpapers, for your phone, for your lock screen, your home screen, your computer screen, that type of thing. Okay, boom. So anyhow, we have the template, then we have the Find Your Why guidebook. The Find Your Why guidebook, that's the second step. So to work with me, the first tool is free. It's in the description box below. If all of my videos, not this one, because I didn't put it in there. So then the Find Your Why guidebook is basically like how like at your job they'll have like handbooks. So that's like your core mission, your core values. Why are you doing this? What is your mission? Also, it's you piecing together how you're going to talk to your audience through your YouTube channel, through your e-commerce, with your products and with your services. So you're going to put that all together within the guidebook. It's also going to ask you, what is your why? That's why it's called the Find Your Why guidebook. So you're going to tell it like, right now in my life, I'm not able to pay this, and this. This is why I'm doing this. Like, you got to have a deep-rooted, deep-seated reason, because you can show up on YouTube, but like for you to be truly consistent, you gotta go back to your why, and you have to be truly aligned to the thing that you like to talk about. Because whatever subject it is that you like to talk about, you're gonna show up on YouTube way more consistent than somebody who just thinking about pure money or YouTube AdSense. Yeah, you're gonna be waiting a long time and plenty videos to get YouTube AdSense. I'm just gonna be for real, because YouTube wants you to put in so much dedication. It's not even funny. Like, so much dedication. Like, you hear people say, like, they're like, oh, I started YouTube and I started uploading like every day for like 4 to 6 months. Can you imagine uploading every single day for 4 to 6 months on YouTube? That's a bit much. We got lives, okay? I'm sorry, but that's a bit much for me, okay? So then the third step, so we have the template, the Fire Why guidebook. The third step is the YouTube design critiques. If you guys look on my whole channel, you'll see the banner, you'll see the trailer, you'll even see like all the videos, the thumbnails, the live sessions. However, I teach you guys how to lay out and how to structure your YouTube channel, because a lot of people, they just upload videos and they have no congruency, or they have no organization or like no mind map of what they're uploading and how people can find their videos. People don't think about that. So that's a YouTube design critiques. And then also, like, people just put up random pictures as their banner and they're not positioning themselves as a brand. So that's why I always say align by design, because you are a brand. So I believe this is something that's been implanted in my head at 7 years old. So I went to this after school program and I remember someone was in front of us and I was sitting down on the floor and they were like, you have to be somebody in this life. And they were like, you have to walk across this earth and represent yourself as somebody. And I literally took that to heat and remember that ever since 7 years old with the after school program. This the other thing. Why I think I'm naturally an entrepreneurial spirit, I think it's because my mother has put me in so many after school programs, it don't make no sense. So it's almost like when you're ingrained with like a lot of enrichment, it almost makes you an entrepreneurial spirit. When you're ingrained, like you know how they be like, oh, like think of this. Say you have young kids, right? And they're like, oh, well, they need to be in extracurriculars, or they need to be in art class, they need to be in dance class, they need to be in football, they need to be in hockey, they need to be in soccer, they need to do this, they need to do that. And not just like activities, but also like activities slash learning. And then when you do more like activities and learning, I'm telling you, that's gonna alter your child's brain to being an entrepreneur. I swear it is. I swear it is. But yeah, and then the fourth thing is the e-commerce builder workshop. For those who don't know how, to start their e-commerce shop, want to know how to navigate it, how to set it up in the background. So yeah, that is basically what all the 4 steps that I do. So it is the template, which is free. You start with free. The guidebook is a small investment. The YouTube design critique, and then the e-commerce builder workshop, and then boom, you got a brand. You have freelanced. Boop. Because we're not no longer excuse my nose, but we're no longer putting our heart into a 9 to 5. We're just not doing that. And on YouTube, everyone's like, no one wants to work anymore. No one. It's not that people don't want to work no more. It's just that people want to feel valued. That's literally it. People want to feel valued. It's not that folks don't want to work. People want to work when they feel like they're getting the value and they feel like they can give value. And how do you do that? You go back to your childhood, the way you are originally designed, right? Aligned by design, affirmations for creatives and entrepreneurial spirits. So let me show y'all one of these pages. So, let me see. I have this one right here. This one says, live life with intention and execution. It'll make your soul dance. Boom. So somebody might want to dance and, have a career in dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just really like stiff, stale, be like everybody else. I'm not into that. I'm into originality. Okay, boom. That is just what it is. Okay, so let me show y'all one more. I'm gonna show y'all this one. Okay, so this one say, amazing opportunities exist for me everywhere in my life. And there's a phone. Why is there a phone? Because nowadays you can find jobs, you can find outlets, you can find gigs, of other sources and other means to make income. And of course, everyone's using their phone to make videos for TikTok or for YouTube, however. So opportunities can literally come from your phone. So boom, that's what I did. Entrepreneurial spirit. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna read a little excerpt from the coloring book, and then I'm going to be heading up out of here. But once again, if you guys want to work with me as your digital design coach, the first tool is free. You just have to figure out who you're gonna serve, right? Okay. So it says you have been. Oh, sorry. It says, have you been feeling like yourself lately? I mean, your true self. Are you tired of hearing what everyone else thinks is best for you? Like, that can make you crash out. People trying to tell you what to do, how to be, blah, 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 how to show up on your YouTube channel. Like, the hell? What's wrong with you? Okay? Are you tired? Yeah. Are you tired of hearing what everyone else thinks is best for you? Have you found yourself using social validation as a measurement of your self-esteem? This self-actualization coloring book was created for young women like you who may have got lost in the sauce of other people's doubts and opinions when truthfully at your core, you are aligned by your own design. Yes, and I made that in 2019, right before the pandemic. I got a message from the Lord and watched a video from Tony Gaskins who said, create something of your own. God said, it's time to make something of your own. Tony Gaskins said, you got to make something you cannot get fired from that produces passive income. What did I do? I took my love for art and created my own coloring book. From what? My childhood. Something that was taught to me in my childhood. Okay? Go back to your childhood and start doing the things you love. Because I'm telling you, if you don't start doing the things that you love in this life, you're going to be a crash out. You're going to be just like the rest of them and be programmed to be a crash out because you are not focusing on your own visions and your own self-confidence. All right? So I'm about to get up off of here. I'll see you on my next one. It's your digital design coach, Sultry Accessory.